you, Dan, and a very good afternoon to you wherever and however you're listening to Talksport 2 at the biggest football attendance anywhere in Europe this weekend. Not even Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund at the Allianz Arena yesterday can generate a crowd as big as this EFL Trofie Final at the National Stadium. It's testament to the power and reach that English football has right through the league pyramid and through all our communities. A celebration for the Bolton and Plymouth fans travelling here to London, and they should all be justly proud of their efforts today in making this at least a 75,000 crowd. And all credit to the two teams they represent, teams who are both looking for a League One promotion and cup double to cap wonderful seasons. Bolton have won this trophy before, back in 1989. Julian Darby, who's part of the Trotters coaching staff nowadays, played and scored the first goal in that 4-1 final win over Torquay United. And it's 100 years since Wanderers were here for the first ever Wembley FA Cup final, known as the White Horse Final, as a solitary police horse tried to control the crowd well in excess of 100,000. Plymouth, for their part, arrived having been here before only for playoff occasions, never a cup final. So Argyle's players make history for their club today, no matter what. So to the team news. Two changes for Bolton from their last game against Sheffield Wednesday. Victor Adebiejo is cut-side, Kieran Lee is dropped, Aaron Morley and Elias Kachunga come in for the Trotters. James Trafford is the keeper. Gethin Jones, Ricardo Santos and Owen Troy in the back three. Connor Bradley, Josh Sheehan, Carl Dempsey and Declan John across midfield. Aaron Morley in behind Elias Kachunga and Dion Charles. Four changes for Plymouth and their last game, which was against Accrington Stanley just before the international break. Dan Scarr is fit again and comes back in at centre-half. Jay Matete, Joe Edwards and Callum Wright are also brought in. Bolton, Butcher, Early, who's cut tight, and Azaz drop out. So Callum Burton is the Pilgrims keeper. James Wilson, Dan Scarr, Macaulay Gillespie in their back three. Joe Edwards, Jordan Houghton, Callum Wright and Ballymumba across midfield. Jay Matete and Danny Mayer in behind, Ryan Hardy in attack. And our referee this afternoon is Ben Toner from Lancashire, and he's just sorting out the coin toss with our respective captains, Joe Edwards of Plymouth and Ricardo Santos of Bolton. Trotters in their traditional white shirts and socks and dark blue shorts. Plymouth in their third kit, a change kit of grey with a hint of mint green. And they'll be defending the West stand end away to our right. We're sat at the back of the box here of the North stand here at Wembley Stadium, just inside the Bolton half of the field. So the West to our right is where Plymouth are, and all around that side of the bowl, Bolton to our east. And everyone's ready for the 2023 Papa John's Trophy Final. Rotherham United, the holders from last year, we brought you that final, a great game against Sutton United, and an attendance that almost rivals the record of this competition set 4 years ago when Sunderland and Portsmouth attracted over 80,000 spectators to the National Stadium. And Ian Evatt, the Bolton manager, who's kept his suit on, Stephen Schumacher track-suited. You can't keep the smile off Ian Evatt's face as we prepare for kick-off. Great moment for both those guys. Which of their players will deliver this afternoon? The final's underway. Bolton get the game underway and immediately send the ball long downfield, but Macaulay Gillespie will duck out the way of the ball sent downfield by Gethin Jones, who was one for Plymouth player, and it goes through to Callum Burton in the Plymouth goal, who's been in net since an injury to first choice keeper Michael Cooper. Ricardo Santos brings the ball down on his chest as Plymouth send the ball downfield. Gethin Jones looks up to halfway, trying to get Connor Bradley away, but Ballymumba, who is starting on the left-hand side for Plymouth, skips away from a couple of challenges and just knocks the ball back 4 yards or so to Jordan Houghton, who was on the bench for Plymouth, didn't get on in the playoff final defeat to AFC Wimbledon back in 2016. Long ball downfield, trying to get Ryan Hardy in behind Santos. And Santos too physical for him. That's a theme for the afternoon, David Connolly.
Yeah, I mean, look, the first two passes from Plymouth have been long, looking to try and get Ryan Hardy in behind. One's dropped short, that one just went in behind, and you touched on both managers, big smiles on their faces, looking around in the surroundings. Wembley obviously going to enjoy themselves and probably think, you know, this is what it's all about. This is why we're here. We're going to enjoy it. Very relaxed. I don't think Stephen Schumacher is, well, he's just taking one hand out of his pocket, but he looks very composed down there.
Oh, lovely turn by Dion Charles, getting away from Bolton down the right-hand side. He's hauled back. That's going to be a free kick for Bolton Wanderers. And Dan Scarr is getting an early ticking off from referee Toner. No yellow card for the recently returned Plymouth centre-back, but an obvious free kick. And Bolton have it almost at the right-hand corner of the penalty area, 0-0.
Yeah, cheap turnover. Simple throw in and around the halfway line, and that Plymouth back three were really spread wide open, thinking they were going to dominate the ball and keep possession. They lost it. There was a massive hole for Bolton to run into, hence why Scarr made the foul. It's a good area, just outside the box, as you say, to the right-hand side.
Aaron Morley standing over it for Bolton Wanderers. Plymouth trying to hold their line around just ahead of the penalty spot, maybe, with the line of defenders that they have. Going man for man, a two-man wall in front of Morley in case he tries to catch out the keeper at his near post. Morley goes deep to the far post, flicked away and out of play by James Wilson. And it goes out of play for a throw to Bolton on that far side of the field, the south stand. 0-0 on Talksport 2 with a couple of minutes gone.
Yeah, just a deeper delivery towards the back post. Plymouth dealt with the danger pretty well there.
Morley's come short for the throw and receives it out on that far left-hand side, but a quick foot in from Jay Matete puts it out for another throw. Everton have beaten Tottenham in the WSL this afternoon. That's just finished 2-1 to the Toffees. Earlier, Arsenal's women came from behind to beat Manchester City's women by 2-1. Bolton coming forward and win a corner. Came off Dan Scarr at the near post. And the Bolton fans, even though the corner's at the other end of the field, roar their approval, 0-0.
Well, I tell you what, this looked like it might have been a possible handball. Really good play from Dion Charles, takes the ball in on the edge of the box, spins his man, gets to the byline, crosses it in the box, and Dan Scarr just knocks it out for a corner. Good start here from Bolton.
No VAR today, just to remind you. Here comes the corner kick from Bolton, left-footed in swinger. Headed in! It's 1-0! Kyle Dempsey! Puts Bolton Wanderers in front with a free header at the far post. Lovely header from Kyle Dempsey. Bolton Wanderers hit the front at the early stage of this Pepperton Trofie Final. Bolton 1, Plymouth 0.
Well, we were just saying about how they made a really good start, Bolton, put Plymouth under pressure. Good ball, really good corner towards the back post. You've got to remember they won this from Dion Charles with that run to the byline. Excellent play from him, but going back to the corner, great ball, outswinger towards the back post. Really good delivery. And there's Charles, gets up high, hits it back towards the near. I mean, you might say Callum Burton, has he covered over towards the near a little bit too much? And also Joe Edwards, the skipper, to me he's got to get back on the near a lot sooner. He doesn't, he delays. It just means there's a huge hole for Dempsey to head the ball into. Terrific header, 1-0 Bolton.
On his 50th appearance for Bolton, Kyle Dempsey opens the scoring here at Wembley Stadium on Talksport 2. And they've won the ball back immediately from the restart, Bolton, but it squirts away from Dion Charles and goes out of play for a Plymouth throw in their left back position. So early joy for Ian Evatt, just to widen the smile on his face, and a blue and white smoke bomb or two have gone off. One of the blue smoke bombs has actually landed on the playing surface that have been thrown from the east stand just to our left, being cleared away by the stewards.
But I tell you what, Ian, if you go back to yesterday's game at Kenilworth Road,
yes,
the amount of deliveries from corners to the back post where Luton got free, that was almost a carbon copy there. Declan John, great ball outswinger towards the back post. Dempsey, a couple of yards free unmarked, but what you've got to do, once the ball goes over your head as a defender in that near post area, like Edwards and maybe the goalkeeper as well, you've got to get back inside the post a lot quicker to cover the goal, and I don't think Edwards did that enough.
Here's Dion Charles for Bolton inside the area, tries to drive and it comes off the backside of Gillespie and goes behind for another corner for Bolton Wanderers. They scored from their first. They're about to have their second. Bolton 1, Plymouth 0.
Yeah, again, Leon Charles, you know, is at the heart of everything. Receives the ball, not afraid. Any half yard or a yard that he's free, he gets turned, faces forward, took the shot on, gone out for a corner.
Right wing corner in the northwest corner. Aaron Morley to take it. Right footed out swinger. Headed out to the edge of the box. Dempsey again trying to win a header, this time at the edge of the area. Drops for Ryan Hardy to hook it clear. Nobody in the Plymouth shirt on halfway, so plenty of time for Conor Bradley to collect it for Bolton. Lead ball rolled up by Morley up to the edge of the area. Charles plays in Dempsey right hand side across the 6-yard line along the deck. He cleared away and out for a Bolton throw, but they're asking all the questions in these early minutes, the Trotters, and they lead 1-0.
I love this because if I'm a front man like Dion Charles and I'm in form, I want the ball all the time, and that's exactly what Bolton are doing. They look to play the ball wide. Aaron Morley, rather than giving it to the wing back, fires it, fishes it into the front, and look, if you're Dion Charles, you're happy days. Take the ball in, and he looks bang up for this Charles, full of confidence.
Bolton's throw taken by Conor Bradley, gets it back on the right hand side. Then it's won back by Jay Matete for Plymouth, keeping it tight to the dead ball line, his own end of the field. And he does well to win a goal kick in the end, actually, Jay Matete. So Plymouth have a chance to clear their lines. 7 gone on your home of the EFL Talksport 2. Bolton 1, Plymouth Argyle 0.
Yeah, they just need to settle down a little bit. I think they were going to play out. Stephen Schumacher has given the signal, no, let's get up the pitch. Maybe try and play in Bolton's half for a little bit. They've been under a fair bit of pressure for these first 7 minutes.
The first time in 6 meetings that Bolton had even scored against Plymouth. 5 games without hitting the back of the net in all competitions against Argyle. That's 4 League One fixtures and an FA Cup tie back in the 2019-20 season. Their last win against Plymouth was 30 years ago in the old Division 2, what's now League One, in January 1993. But they lead here. Danny Mayer trying to release Ballymumma down the left-hand side. Couldn't find his teammate. And Bolton have a throw just beneath our commentary position, midway point of their own half, from Conor Bradley to take. 1-0 to the Trotters.
Yeah, they just seem a little bit rattled, don't they, Argyle at the minute. Mumba with a pretty simple pass of control, gets away from him.
Now Macaulay Gillespie just puts his boot through it and gets it downfield, but it bounces well away from Callum Wright, who was trying to get involved, and he will get close to James Trafford before the young Manchester City loanee picks it up for Bolton. Dempsey with the ball round the corner, hit straight forward and easy for Plymouth to win possession from. Now Argyle have a throw just inside the Bolton half of the field. West Ham leading Southampton by a goal to 0. As you've heard earlier, that's a 2 o'clock kickoff. We'll keep you updated with any further goals at the London Stadium this afternoon. Now the goal scorer Kyle Dempsey just leaves it for Elias Kachunga. Finds Dempsey again. Squares it across. Scores! Makes it 2-0. What a start for Bolton Wanderers. And Dion Charles adds it again. His 3rd goal in the Football League Trophy, and this one has put Bolton 2 goals clear inside 10 minutes. Plymouth just don't know what's hit them. Dempsey involved again, this time with the assist. So too Kachunga. Brilliant goal. Bolton are on their way. Bolton 2, Plymouth 0.
Terrific goal. Terrific goal. You know, 3 players involved in this. Kachunga, lovely pass infield to Dempsey. Dempsey got the first, had the awareness, punched it right. He knew that Charles was free at the back post. Plymouth had overcome it, squared it across to Dion Charles, and he's got a simple task just to stroke this home. You would say the turnover is far too cheap. I think it's Ballymumba again loses possession, just allows Kachunga to run with the ball to the edge of the box. He beats Dempsey inside, he squares it across to Dion Charles, and you might say maybe Burton could have done a little bit better. Wasn't quite in the corner, looked like I got a little hand to this, but nonetheless Charles just strokes it home. Probably won't score an easier goal this season. He's got 1 at Wembley. He's only 1 off now, isn't he? 20 for the season.
That's right. Magnificent effort. And Dempsey with the credit for the assist, knowing where Dion Charles was, pulling away to the far post on the left hand side. Nothing that Callum Burton could do. Now Plymouth have been in this position before in tournament. They were 3-0 down against AFC Wimbledon in the knockout stages and fought back from 3-0 down with a Sam Cosgrove hat-trick to force a penalty shootout, which they subsequently won. So maybe Stephen Schumacher will want his players to draw on that experience, but Bolton have their tails up. 11 gone on Talksport 2. Charles wins a throw out on the far side. And Plymouth just can't lay a glove on their opponents. So a throw in for Declan John to take. It's a free kick actually. I beg your pardon, it was given as a foul out on that left hand side. Ball sent long downfield but cleared away by Callum Burton. It's controlled at the back by Owen Toyle for Bolton. Long ball downfield, in a head tennis around the halfway line. In steps Jordan Houghton looking for Callum Wright, but it's headed away from him. Put back over his head by Joe Edwards up to the edge of the Bolton box, but it's tidied up. And then Declan John thought he'd want to throw. It's given us a goal kick in actual fact for Bolton Wanderers away to our left. Bolton 2, Plymouth 0 on Talksport 2, 12 gone.
Yeah, and I'm sure Stephen Schumacher will have that game in the back of his mind, but probably wait for that talk at half-time. Remind his team of that Sam Cosgrove hat-trick. As you say, they've just got to stay in the game now, just try and get a foothold, find a way back in. If you contrast Plymouth, never set up to play out, lost a bit of confidence. Bolton now not afraid to take their time, look to play out, but go long. You've got to get it into the front. At the minute, the front part of the pitch for Bolton have been brilliant.
It's David Connolly, former EFL Trofie winner, you can hear alongside me, Ian Dancer here at Wembley Stadium. Falls back in the arms of the young Plymouth keeper Callum Burton. I say young, he's 26 now. He's played all the Football League Trophy matches, including this final today. Made 3 saves in penalty shootouts as well, Callum Burton. He's got possession again inside the 18-yard box with the ball at his feet, looking for an option. Rolls it to the right hand side where Joe Edwards has to play it back. Now Dan Scarr back inside after injury. Started his career in non-league football in the West Midlands. Now out on the right hand side, chance for Wilson to play a long ball downfield, headed away by Ricardo Santos with giant frame in the back three for Bolton Wanderers. Plymouth win the ball back. Scurrying forward is Joe Edwards, has a shot from the edge of the area, and Santos there against a block at the edge of the 18-yard line.
Yeah, decent run from Edwards. I would say Ryan Harding made a lovely little run in the box. He could have slipped it through to him, took the shot on from outside the box, and as you say, Santos blocked it well.
The attempted clearance now built from Gethin Jones, blocked by Danny Mayer. The ball neatly chipped down the right hand side by Kachunga dropping deep. Ball's out of play. Plymouth thought they kept it in, but the assistant on this near side indicates a throw to Bolton Wanderers. Well, in the FL, the Football League Trophy by 2-0. Sorry.
I mean, considering the players that are absent for Bolton, cup tied, which is basically their first choice front part of the pitch, or 2/3 of it, you've got to say, Kachunga's starting brilliantly. Dempsey looks really, really bright and lively, so for Ian Evatt, you'll be absolutely thrilled.
Yes, a number of players cup tied. Dan and Lundaloo, Shola Shortire, also got injuries. Lloyd Isgrove and Jack Iredale unavailable to Ian Evatt.
Adebayo as well, obviously.
But they're 2-0 up here. And they have a throw midway point of the Plymouth half of the field, which Connor Bradley looks to take. And all the noise you can hear is coming from our left-hand side. As Gethin Jones chips the ball forward looking for Dempsey, headed away by Gillespie. Callum Wright with a brave header as there was a player coming in at him. It was a strong challenge from Owen Toyle. It's been given as a free kick by referee Toner. So Plymouth have the free kick, and it's taken short by Jordan Houghton just to his right for Wilson. Callum Wright comes short, plays it out to the right hand side for Joe Edwards, who just had that run infield for Plymouth. Now Matete loses out as Bolton win it back. Played up to Kachunga. And in fact, free kick's been given for the earlier foul in midfield on Josh Sheehan. and that'll be a free kick to Bolton. 2-0 to the Wanderers.
Yeah, Matete just a little bit late there. Well, what a start here for Bolton. They had a few celebrity fans on the pitch, didn't they, beforehand, obviously?
Well, Vernon Kay and Josh Widdicombe represented both clubs before kick-off to bring the trophy out and bring the ball onto the pitch. Josh Widdicombe was wearing a Rascal Ecru suit on the Liverpool Cup final suits that the Spice Boys wore back in the 90s. Now here's Callum Wright. Oh, lovely skill from the Plymouth number 26. Gets to the edge of the area but snatches at his shot. He might wish that the referee given a free kick because there was a pullback on his shoulder as he broke clear for a moment. But he got his shot all wrong, Callum Wright, and it ends up being a Bolton goal kick, 2-0.
Well, I'm sure absolutely he'd rather have the free kick. It was a clear tug on him. Lovely little bit of skill. Goes past Toll, breaks into the box, just about to get his shot off, and he certainly had a hand on his shoulder. I think that might have affected the final finish.
Yeah, he's off balance, isn't he, as he strikes it.
I mean, the ref gave the advantage, but I think I'd rather have the free kick there.
Callum Wright joined in January from Blackpool. He only joined Blackpool from Leicester last summer. 2-0 to Bolton Wanderers on Talksport 2 in the Papa John's Trophy Final here at Wembley Stadium. Here's Josh Sheehan. Through ball for Dempsey. It was the right idea. So nearly came up, but Scar intercepted, but Charles has it back. Centre of the Plymouth half. Pirouettes away from two challenges, but then loses out to Houghton. Long ball downfield for Ryan Hardy, and it's been won back by Bolton.
Well, I mean, I just had a little look at Stephen Schumacher there as they cleared the ball. I think Scar just cleared the ball, aimlessly, and Schumacher saying, just settle down.
Oh, Ballymumble won it back on halfway, scurried after it, but the ball trickled over the touchline just beforehand.
Yeah, he's just sort of saying to Stephen Schumacher, just saying to his players, just settle down. They won the ball back, and he's got sort of Scar there saying, well, all right, what do you want me to do? I mean, they are losing 2-0, but nonetheless, to get back in the game, they've got to play the Plymouth way, as they have done all season. Just settle down and try and find a teammate.
Heavy touch from Santos. Ball's works in field by Plymouth, but they can't find Callum Wright. It was an important interception again by Toll. Clipped up by Connor Bradley to halfway. Kachunga, he ran into Ballymumba, but it's been given as a free kick to Bolton Wanderers. Collision just inside the Bolton half of the field, but it's gone the way of Ian Everett's side, and Kachunga's back on his feet. 2-0 Bolton.
Yeah, as you say, I think it was just didn't see too much in that, just a bit of an accidental collision there. Nonetheless, there's been a few of these and a few throws, and Bolton are, you can't say it's getting management. They are taking their time on things now. Same with goal kicks. They set up the two of the centre halves in the box to play out. They've never played out, and that just wastes 30 seconds, a minute. 2-0 up at Wembley. Is a goalkeeper in possession. Trafford just taking his time.
Long ball downfield from James Trafford, heading clear for Plymouth by Scar to the halfway line. Bolton trying to win it back. Flick on from Kachunga. Sets Bolton away. Inside the box, Bradley pulls it back. It's getting hit with a goal. It's cleared on the line. Into the goalkeeper's arms. So close to 3-0. The ball-inspired goal was by Dempsey, who got the first. And somehow, between the keeper and I think James Wilson, the ball stayed the right side of the goal line for Plymouth Argyle, and it stays 2-0 to Bolton Wanderers.
Goodness knows that they got away that. Bradley just about onside, cuts the ball back superbly to Dempsey. Goal-bound effort into the far corner. Took a couple of deflections off a Plymouth player just on the goal line, as you say. Burton just grabs it.
Plymouth just have not settled, and they've not created a real worthy chance so far, but they have possession now inside the Bolton half on this near side to us, the left, with Ballymumba. Houghton flicks it in field to Jay Matete. Matete finds Mumba again, who's coming field from the left touchline, and he elects to spread play all the way across to the right hand side, and James Wilson. Look
how spread out their back three is. You got one centre half, on the right hand side, the other one miles in the opposition half on the left. There's one at the back. That is why they're at such risk on the turnover. Yeah. They're so spread open. Look, they're 2-0 down at Wembley. They've got to get back in the game. They're too expansive for me. Hence, on the turnover, Bolton look like they might get a third or a fourth.
They're certainly not playing within the width of the 18-yard box. There's 20 yards between each of the three centre halves. Plymouth have given up possession again. Connor Bradley steps in front of Ballymumba and drives into the Plymouth half. He's got Kachunga to his right, but Bradley's still going. Nutmegs Houghton. Across comes Matete with a strong challenge, and he goes for a throw. post. Strong run though from young Conor Bradley. Bolton 2 up.
Well, what's the phrase? I think if you drive a bus between the three centre halves, you know, two open. Wilson on one side, he's hoping that Plymouth get possession on the left and switch it out to the right. But
done about one bus. Evil Knievel would still got to jump over the number of buses you need.
You've got to think, hang on, we're not actually playing that well. Let's get in, let's get a bit compact and not be too expansive. Be a bit more pragmatic for a while till we find our way in the game.
Kachunga for Bolton, who are 2-0 up here if you're just tuning in to Talksport 2 in the Papa John's Trophy Final. Plymouth win it back in their own defensive third. Matete works it up to Edwards inside the centre circle. Now he releases Ryan Hardy. Hardy's got Callum Wright to his right, and he plays it to the number 26. Edwards on the overlap, but Wright chips it into the box. Just goes over the head of Joe Edwards, who is in the area. And the young Liverpool loanee, Conor Bradley, strides forward once again for Bolton with purpose. Plays the ball in field. Kachunga goes to ground, but Dempsey's picked it up. Dempsey tried to fire it across the face of goal, and it goes behind for a goal kick in the end. Kachunga stayed down, and another lightning quick break led by this young 19-year-old on loan from Liverpool. Conor Bradley for Bolton, 2-0 they lead.
Brilliant run. You would say as the ball comes in from the right-hand side for Plymouth, Barley Mumba caught on his heel, doesn't make the box. It allows Bradley to pick it up inside his own area, plays it one way round Barley Mumba, runs round the other, and then sprints away from Barley Mumba, who hasn't got a cat and hell's chance of catching him. And he just wondered, it can't continue like this. I'm sure Stephen Schumacher think we've got to contain this, and Barley Mumba's just not at the races so far.
Throw in to Bolton Wanderers as Leicester City women take a vital lead against Reading's women in the WSL. Leicester bottom, remember, of that table, but Samantha Tierney's giving them the lead. Here's Dion Charles for Bolton, 2-0 up, finds Dempsey across the face of goal. Kachunga with his back to goal, can't set up the shot, and Ballymumba in the end, at the edge of his own 6-yard box, just hoofs it anywhere to get it out of trouble.
Again though, Dion Charles receives it in a really tight area, wriggles free again, feeds it to Dempsey inside the box, and those two have been sensational so far. Just can't deal with them.
Midway through the first half on Talksport 2, Ian Danter and David Connolly with you at Wembley Stadium. Bolton 2 goals up through a header from Carl Dempsey and a cool finish from Dion Charles, set up by Dempsey. That's the difference between these two sides at the moment. And Dempsey, who scored the first and set up the second in possession at the moment. Santos, centre half, goes back to his keeper. And James Trafford, who set a record for Bolton. They kept 9 consecutive clean sheets in home matches at Bolton this season. He's had a brilliant full season on loan from Manchester City, had a half-season loan as well from the Etihad club. Might have some defending to do here because Plymouth have numbers forward in this attack. Mumba, right-hand side. He seems to have switched flanks for a moment with Edwards and gone on to the right-hand side. That's indicative. Now down the right-hand side, Jordan Houghton puts the ball into the area. Hardy, great save, Trafford. Put behind for a corner kick. Good crossing low by Jordan Houghton to the near post. Hardy slid in, but Trafford, the youngster, deflected it behind for Plymouth's first corner.
I tell you what, he did deflect it behind him, but he didn't know too much about it. He was diving towards the far post, and actually he didn't think Hardy was going to get to this. Full stretch Ryan Hardy, and I tell you what, just his foot, his outstretched foot just keeps us out the back of the net. Really good save, but goodness me, that was close.
So a corner kick and a clutch of players at the edge of the area. Plymouth players bursting into the box. It's headed out to the edge of the box. Callum Wright brings it down 30 yards out. Squares it to his right for Mumba. Back out to the right-hand side. Put back in by Jordan Houghton. Volleyed away by Josh Sheehan. Dion Charles scrapping with Matete and halfway for possession. Almost got there, but then back came Mumba in the nick of time to get the ball back to his keeper, because it looked for a moment that Charles had rolled Matete and was going to get away.
And it was just 1v1, wasn't it? A little bit bare at the back there, Plymouth, but the pace of Mumba just got him into a good recovery position.
Hardy tries to go for a long ball downfield, and he's just eased out of the way. A little nudge of the shoulder from the very broad shoulders of Ricardo Santos. 2-0 Bolton with 25 gone on Talksport 2.
Yeah, Trafford gathers it and then puts the ball on the deck. Just invites a little bit of pressure. Make sure that Plymouth are going to close him down, and he'll take his time playing out.
It's a long straight ball downfield, Trafford. Kachunga went to ground, claiming it was pushed by Dan Starr. Nothing doing to throw in to Plymouth. More live football tomorrow night on Talksport. Monday night game night. Adrian Durham, Sam Matterface and Danny Murphy are up at Goodison Park. The coverage on Talksport starts at 6 p.m. Everton Spurs kicks off at 8. The best reflection on all the weekend's Premier League talking points with Adrian, Sam and Danny in the first 2 hours before kick-off in that vital Premier League games. The post-Antonio Conte era gets underway. And if you're not aware, Leicester City have confirmed within the last hour that Brendan Rodgers is no longer their manager after their last gasp defeat at Crystal Palace, which you heard on Talksport 2 yesterday. Plymouth coming forward at 2-0 down. It's back with Jematete in the centre of the Bolton half. Macaulay Gillespie pushing forward from the back, has it now, gives it back to Matete in the shaded area of the pitch. A good 2/3 of the pitch opposite us is in shade. Now is James Wilson coming forward, lays it off for a moment, goes back in field to Matete. They're trying to pick the lock. Bolton have got everybody behind the ball. So Matete goes back to halfway and Dan Scarr. Different at 5-3-2 vibes from Bolton when they don't have the ball. Back it goes to Danny Mayer, who's dropping deep now for Plymouth to try and affect the game. Faced up by Sheehan, rolls it out to the right hand side. Mumba up against Owen Toyle, trying to get across him from that right hand side. Good feet from Mumba, tries to chop again, but it looked like he was ready to cross the ball. Plays a 1-2 with Wilson, goes down inside the area. Goal kick given, no penalty. Referee then turned it very quick to indicate the goal kick as Mumba went down for Plymouth, but it's a Bolton goal kick and Wanderers still lead 2-0.
Well, this looked close, a little bit clumsy as well. I mean, we touched on Mumba, how he struggled down the left. You mentioned it. He's now moved over to the right hand side. He's played there a couple of times for Plymouth. He gets by his man and to me that's clumsy. I know you're shaking your head as if it's definitely not a penalty, but told to me is a little bit clumsy.
Matete's moving into him to initiate the contact. Not having that, that's no penalty for me.
I think he's got to be careful.
Very true. Kachunga, meantime, for Bolton Wanderers. Oh, lovely through ball. Dempsey's in on goal! Saved by Callum Burton. What a chance. And suddenly, the defence for Plymouth parted once again. Dempsey ran through the middle, got to the edge of the area, but Callum Burton smothers. And it's only 2-0 to Bolton.
Oh, goodness me. He telegraphed where he was going, Dempsey, didn't he? You know, he knew that he was going into that far corner. Goalkeeper read it well. Maybe a little ice finish might have been better there. Look to the far, but bend it near.
Now Danny Mayer looking to release Hardy down the middle of the pitch, but it's over here ever so slightly. And Trafford, the goalkeeper for Bolton, had a very good starting position, straight out to the edge of his 18-yard box to collect. Great game. 28 gone. Bolton 2, Plymouth 0 on Talksport 2.
Yeah, let's see how Plymouth get on, because they had a chance for Ryan Hardy. Just had a little opening in the box. Edwards has just moved over to this left-hand side, and Barley Mumba moved over to the right. He can play there against Accrington, so you know, and Barnsley, so he can work off both sides, and he's having no joy down this left.
Callum Wright trying to head it on for Ryan Hardy, but Plymouth are dispossessed once again. Toll hits a long ball downfield for Dion Charles, scrapping with James Wilson. The loose ball comes for Bolton, but great challenge to deny Aaron Morley, but Morley's won it back, and then he was fouled. Stays down Aaron Morley, and it was James Wilson that had a nibble at him. Again, no yellow card from the referee, but it is a free kick to Bolton, about 20 yards inside Plymouth territory. 2-0 Bolton lead.
Yeah, they went direct, Bolton. You know, and one thing you got to do if you go direct is make sure you try and pick up the second balls, and they did there. Had players in and around it. Just got there ahead of Wilson, who looked he was determined to take out Dion Charles. He certainly did that.
Again, all the noise being generated from the Bolton fans to our left in the east stand. Very little for the Plymouth supporters to our right to cheer about so far. Now Bolton have this free kick, and Morley's taking it short and gets it back just ahead of the centre circle. Rolls it to his right for Bradley. Bradley tries to clip it down the right hand side, but that's one back by Plymouth. And now Callum Wright in a race with Conor Bradley. But he's won it. Got there first, Maloney. And clears downfield.
He's quick, isn't he, Bradley?
Well, they're both quick, but he's quicker.
Yeah. He's coped with, you know, whatever's been thrown at him so far down this right-hand side, the youngster from Liverpool.
4 goals and 4 assists as well in the league for Conor Bradley, so he really has contributed in all manner of speaking.
Well, I mean, look,
this season.
He's had Bailey Mungo in his pocket. He's had a guy over the other side, and just showing he's a match for anyone pace-wise.
It's like you were saying yesterday when we were at Luton Watford, when Callum Morris clearly had the measure of Ryan Porteous inside 20 minutes and had won that battle. That sign of Mumba being shifted over from left to right is a sign that Conor Bradley's won that battle.
Yeah.
Now Plymouth try and thread the ball up to halfway, but it's won back by Josh Sheehan. Morley alongside him in the centre circle. Oh, it's poked through by Gethin Jones, and Dempsey's away again. Squares it to the box. Charles lifts it over the bar from the edge of the area. Just got underneath it, leant back, and didn't get over the top of the ball, and it ends up being a Plymouth goal kick. Still Bolton 2, Plymouth 0 on Talksport 2.
Well, I'd say they're queuing up at the back post to finish this. I mean, Dempsey could have scored a moment ago to make it 3-0. Here he is on the break, right on the last man. Is he onside? Yes, I think he is. Comes to mind to cut the ball back. He had a Kachunga as well to aim for. Dion Charles, as you said, just got under the ball. Could have actually taken a touch here and worked it a bit closer to goal. Went for the first time, finished with his laces, aiming for the near, but blasted it over the bar.
So Plymouth with a goal kick. 32 minutes played on your home of the EFL. The Papa John's Trophy Final going Bolton Wanderers' way thus far. They lead 2-0 through goals from Dempsey and Charles. Scar for Plymouth hooks the ball up to the halfway line. Edwards gets a good flick on and forces Gethin Jones to put the ball out of play for a Plymouth throw, which has been taken too far inside the Bolton half for the referee's liking. Joe Edwards now on this left-hand side tries to get it back from Callum Wright. He'll get another throw a little bit further forward this time, just in front of the Bolton manager Ian Ebbott. Looking for an option, Joe Edwards, and he doesn't have one at the moment. He's crept a good 4 or 5 yards forward, quite clever really, to try and gain some extra yardage. He then receives it back from Wright and clips it down the left-hand side. Hardy does well to keep it in play, but then he's dispossessed by Gethin Jones. Long ball downfield, won't find Kachunga. Matete tidies up and finds Dan Scar for Plymouth, who fires it into the centre circle. Well controlled by Danny Mayer. And now Mumba on that right-hand side knocks it infield for Mayer once again. Still inside his own half. Turns away from a couple of challenges, but runs into one too many. I think it was Morley that dispossessed him in the end for Bolton. And then Toll looks long downfield for Dion Charles, left-hand side. And it's fouled Dan Scar at the right-hand corner, or the left-hand corner of the penalty area that Bolton are attacking. And Plymouth have a free kick.
Well, I guess if you're Bolton at half-time, you'd be pleased in one respect that you have got 2 goals. You'd probably, if you're hearing it, be disappointed you haven't got a third or a fourth. And on the turnover, Plymouth are so wide open. I mean, the 3 centre-halves are spread right across the width of the pitch at times, and the spaces are huge for Charles and Kachunga to work, and Dempsey to work in. But I'm still not sure, they just need that next goal, Bolton.
Dempsey again working really hard for Bolton to win the ball back. And it's with the Lancashire club at the moment, and it's fired downfield by Aaron Morley, but in the right-hand channel. Nobody there in a white shirt, so tidied up, and Gillespie sends the ball back to his keeper. We've got 4 exclusive Premier League commentaries on Tuesday on Talksport, Talksport 2, and the Talksport app that I know you've got downloaded for your smartphone already for free. Chelsea against Liverpool, Talksport 8 p.m. Leeds against Nottingham Forest, Talksport 2. And you've also got AFC Bournemouth, Brighton and Leicester against Villa, both exclusively on the app at 7:45. All those games are exclusive to the Talksport network, and at least 2 of those are not on television either. So a throw into Plymouth Argyle back here at Wembley, where it's 2-0 to Bolton Wanderers, and we've got 10 minutes to half-time in the first half of this Papa John's Trophy Final. Scar for Plymouth works the ball across again. Danny Mayer, look how deep he's dropping David Connolly to pick up possession to the halfway line to try and be effective.
Yeah, because it's hard, because Bolton are set in their shape, you know, but when they don't have the ball, you know, it's a back 5 and, you know, pretty difficult to play through, whereas, you know, look at Plymouth, so expansive, trying to get back in the game. On the turnover, Bolton hitting on the counter, but it's a lot harder for Plymouth to try and break down this deep line Bolton defence.
West Ham still leading Southampton by a goal to nil, remembering that vital game at the bottom of the Premier League. There's about a quarter of an hour to go there. Celtic have beaten Ross County, incidentally, in the Premiership up in Scotland. Arsenal women beat Manchester City's women 2-1 in the WSL to really tighten things up at the top of the table there. Here at Wembley, Bolton in possession. Conor Bradley, who's played on the right-hand or left-hand side of the midfield for a moment, gets dispossessed, and then a foul by Kyle Dempsey on Jordan Houghton gives Plymouth a free kick.
I tell you what, Conor Bradley will be up there for man of the match for me. I mean, he just got back on the cover again down this right-hand side, then covered across the pitch on the left and put another tackle in. He's been superb.
Plymouth coming forward down their right-hand side. Ballymumba in the right wing position, drives across him, but it's straight at James Trafford, who can make a comfortable save, and there were three players in grey and mint green shirts waiting for a cross that never came.
Yeah, went with the first time delivery, which I think is always hard coming onto the ball, especially when it's going away from you. Went with the laces as well, and you expect better, but you know, he's really his favoured side down that right number.
Elias Kachunga's just gone down and Watson tripped. I think there's an injury to the top of his foot or something, his right foot, his ankle, so the physios are coming on. I mentioned those 4 games on Tuesday across Talksport and Talksport 2 and the app. There's 2 more exclusive games on Wednesday from the Premier League to our network. Manchester United against Brentford, Talksport, 8 o'clock on Wednesday. West Ham are at home again on Wednesday. They'll be taking on Newcastle, 8 p.m. Incidentally, our coverage for both those nights, Tuesday and Wednesday, starts here on Talksport 2 at 6 p.m. with Adrian Durham, your host. You'll hear some great features, great talking points, and then all the team news and all those commentaries for you. Players coming to this near touch line, mostly of a Bolton persuasion. Few Plymouth players just come to grab some water. Stephen Schumacher's not got much of an audience. They've all drifted away from him. We've got about 7 minutes of the first half to go. Kachunga, thankfully, is back on his feet and is trotting over to this knee, so he'll be okay to continue. And Plymouth, I don't know whether they'll be happy just to get in at 2-0 down and refocus, or whether they need a goal here. David Connolly.
Oh, they can certainly do with a goal, but you have to say, barring that Ryan Hardy chance, they haven't had too many others. You know, very difficult to create anything of note. And they're probably fortunate it's only 2-0. Could have been worse, could have been 3 or 4. And as I say, I'm sure, well, Ian will probably touch on that, how well they've played, but also they could be out of sight by now.
So we'll get play restarted with an uncontested drop ball from the referee that's rolled back to James Trafford, the Bolton keeper, wearing all lime green this afternoon. More fluorescent yellow that Callum Burton has at the opposite end for Plymouth. Headed back to the centre circle. Plymouth trying to win possession. Jordan Hatton looking to release Ryan Hardy through the centre. First touch almost got it away from Santos, but there were enough white shirts to win it back. Ball's nodded into the area. Joe Edwards gives chase, but Trafford out smartly to clutch hold of the ball. On loan, as I say, from Manchester City. He's only 20, 18 clean sheets in 38 league games. That's some effort for a young kid coming into a League One side. Ooh. A late challenge. Just on that far side of the field.
It was Callum Wright.
It was Callum Wright who went very strongly in on Josh Sheehan. And it's going to be a yellow card. It's already in Bentona's hand. Off is the cry from the Bolton fans to our left, but it's going to be a yellow card here. 2-0 to Bolton, and Plymouth are losing their discipline. Forgive me, it's actually Danny Mayer that's going to be booked. He's the player that is being cautioned, but it was a very, very strong mistimed challenge, David Connolly.
It was a bit of frustration, obviously, with how this has gone. And obviously the Bolton fans enjoying this. Camera pans up and Campo upstairs watching on, and Vernon Kay for other celebrities. Haven't seen Amir Khan here, or Paddy McGuinness. Haven't seen all the famous Bolton fans, all the celebs, but there's certainly a few here.
Really caught the inside of Josh Sheehan's left ankle. That was not a nice challenge at all by by Danny May.
Well, you got to remember, Josh, he missed a long time out, didn't he? He only came back fit at the start of the season, so really serious injury.
Thankfully, he's back on his feet.
Yeah, it looks okay.
So it'll be a Bolton Wanderers free kick, midway point of their own half. We've got less than 5 minutes to half-time on Talksport 2 in the Papa John's Trophy Final. Bolton 2, Plymouth 0, if you're just tuning in. Great start from Ian Evans' Trotters to get a quick 2-goal advantage that they totally deserved, and they've been dominant for long spells of this first period. Plymouth trying to respond, but a ball down the right hand side from Wilson is far too far ahead of Ryan Hardy and just trickles back through to James Trafford. Out to Ricardo Santos, the captain. There's a square ball to the left hand corner of the box, and Toll has to go back to his keeper. High press from Plymouth, forcing Trafford to go long with a clearance downfield. Gillespie heads the ball in field for Plymouth, but it'll go straight to Elias Kachunga in the centre circle. Just lays it off to his right for Gethin Jones. Bradley plays the ball in field, can't find its intended target. Quick feet from Jordan Houghton for Plymouth. And he'll play the ball left to Gillespie. Back it goes to Dan Scarr. We've got 3 minutes of normal time to go, plus whatever the referee wants to add on at the end of this first period on Talksport 2. Mumba back in field to Matete. Houghton lays it off down this left hand side, and Gillespie comes forward from centre half. Joe Edwards plays a 1-2 with Callum Wright. Has to spin away under good pressure from the right hand side from again Connor Bradley, making a nuisance of himself. Now Edwards rolls it back 10 yards to Gillespie. Up to the left hand corner of the box, set down the left hand side by Callum Wright for Edwards. Sliding challenge from Bradley, puts it out of play for a corner kick to Plymouth Argyle away to our left. 2-0 Bolton.
Yeah, that's a little bit better from Plymouth. Might have been a foul as well on Callum Wright there on the edge of the area, but the referee allowed the advantage.
So Jordan Houghton will have the corner kick for Plymouth Argyle, just down beneath us to our left hand side at the northeast corner. Rosie's both arms above his head, clips it deep to the far post. Comfortable play by James Trafford. There wasn't a Plymouth player within 5 yards of that ball when Trafford caught it. 2-0 to Bolton.
Yeah, catch and practice, although he just lets himself down, and Ian Evans just points at his wrist, at his watch, as if to say, you know, what are you doing? Why are you trying to set us on a counter-attack when we're a couple of minutes away from half-time? That might be his lack of experience there, maybe, but just settle down, get your team up the pitch. No need to give the ball straight back to Plymouth, or try and set your team on a counter this late in the game. Well, this late in the first half.
Wilson fires the ball forward for Plymouth, looking for Ryan Harding. Drops on halfway for Ballymumba. He's want to throw for his team out on the far side of the field. He wants to take quickly, try and give Plymouth a foothold in this final. Matete on halfway, spins away from Alan Moore for a moment, gives the ball to Mumba. He works the ball across the halfway line to Houghton, and then it's worked across to this near side, the Plymouth left, and Gillespie. Danny Mayer dropping deep once again, plays the ball into Callum Wright in the centre of the Bolton half, has to work it back 5 yards or so. Now Joe Edwards finds Gillespie, who's stayed forward on the left hand side. Has he run out of ground? Yes, he has. Going to be a throw into Bolton. They're just not allowing those avenues to open up for Plymouth players to utilise to attack.
Yeah, you've got to say defensively, as they have been all season, we touched on it, only conceded 31. Now, fantastic record. You mentioned the clean sheets, etc.
And 4 clean sheets in this competition alone, which is the most.
Yeah, built at the back, and now they've got that 2-goal lead. You know, they've got something to hang on to, and they're just being dogged defensively. Not around Plymouth any time in possession.
Connor Bradley with the throw, gets it back. It's a 4 minutes of minimum stoppage time at the end of this first half. 4 minutes is underway of minimum stoppage time. Plymouth 2-0 down in possession with Dan Scarr. Finds Jordan Houghton almost at the midway point of the Bolton half. It's rolled out to the right hand side. Here's Ballymumba up against Toll near the corner flag, runs out of room, tried to keep him played tight to the touchline, but one drop of the shoulder too many, and Bolton have a throw. 2-0 Wanderers lead.
Yeah, it just hasn't been his game. You've got to say, Bali Mumba, he's been excellent for Plymouth this season, but on the left he didn't have much joy. He's now moved over to the right. He hasn't had any output either. His last cross went straight into the arms of Trafford. The one before that, or just after that, he's ran it off the pitch.
Hands on hips, Stephen Schumacher can get a roll of lino under both arms. He is not happy at all. Very frustrated with his team's performance, but Ian Evatt, hands in pockets, looking much more casual, as well he might. We've had a minute of the minimum 4 elapsed in stoppage time at the end of the first half on Talksport 2, but Bolton have just conceded a corner. Owen Toyle heading the ball behind under minimal pressure from Ryan Hardy. What can Plymouth make of this set piece? 2-0 Bolton lead.
Yeah, he just seemed to lose his bearings there for a minute, Toll. Ball just spun over the top and it was a bit of an awkward bounce. Nonetheless, he could have easily headed that out for a throw rather than corner.
So it's over on the far side for Jordan Houghton to take. A right-footed out-swinger for Plymouth. Up go the heads. It's headed out by Santos. Comes out to Callum Wright. Chips it back into the area. Santos there again with a headed clearance. Houghton trying to volley it back across the face of goal, and Morley blocks it out for a throw on the far side off his backside. Quickly taken throw. Mumba has to work it back to halfway. Matete is the last man for Plymouth, just over the halfway line. Gives it to Macaulay Gillespie. Gubbies to cross and then goes inside, and then the cross, he's got an angle in his boot. Macaulay Gillespie's hit it way out and behind for a goal kick, and this has been Bolton's first half. Without question, they lead 2-0.
Yeah, you would say for Gillespie, gets it on his left foot, just put it in on the diagonal, just get it back in the box. You've got everyone in there from the corner, tries to be clever, back inside playing with his weaker right foot, and they made a right mess of that.
So Trafford with the goal kick. Couple of minutes remaining in minimum stoppage time at the end of this first half. The Papa John's Trophy live on Talksport 2. Bolton 2-0 up. Plymouth have possession inside their own half. Reading's women equalise at Leicester right on half time. 1-1 there in that battle towards the bottom of the WSL. Here's Danny Mayer for Plymouth, just over halfway. Conor Bradley there again, stops him getting any forward, little flick of the boot, takes it out for a throw-in.
Well, talking of flick of the boots, that ball ended up at the feet of Ian Evatt, and he just flicked it behind him towards the advertising hoardings, and Stephen Schumacher not too happy with that.
Mayer again for Plymouth, running back to the halfway line, then plays the ball across to James Wilson on the far side. First time ball lofted up for Ballymumba, but easy for Toll to step in front and win it back. Mumba, better skill from Ballymumba that time. Holds on to it and then floats it out to the right hand side. Now continuing his run is James Wilson. Chance to put a cross in for Plymouth. Deflects away off Santos and hits Ryan Hardy off his knees. And the Bolton players just allow it to go behind for a goal kick. Bolton 2, Plymouth 0.
Yeah, they're trying. I mean, that's one of their outside centre backs getting into the box, trying to deliver a cross, and they have given it a go. Obviously, they've had 2-0 down, but been far too expansive, way too open. This first 45, you've got to credit Bolton for punishing them. Could have been more though. Could have been more. 2-0. I'm sure Ian Evatt at half time say he should have been 4. Should be out of sight by now.
Trafford will have the goal kick, and he's taking his time over placing it. All eyes on the referee, who blows the whistle for half time. And the cheers come from the Bolton Wanderers fans to our left. Silence elsewhere, because Bolton Wanderers are firmly in control of this Papa John's Trophy Final. 2 goals inside the first 10 minutes have given them that control. First, Kyle Dempsey with a neat header from their first corner of the game, swung in from the left-hand side, and then Dempsey turned provider on 10 minutes after a swift break, squaring the ball across the face of goal for Dion Charles to coolly finish yet another goal for the Bolton number 10. As David Connolly said, it could have been worse. Dempsey had a shot cleared on the goal line. Charles had a great chance to add to his goal tally, but lifted the ball well over. And also Dempsey played through the middle, had a one-on-one with the keeper, but Callum Burton was able to save for Plymouth. Much to do for Stephen Schumacher in the dressing room to give his players a giddy-up because as it stands, the trophy's heading up to Lancashire at half-time. It's Bolton Wanderers 2, Plymouth Argyle 0. And it's indeed Jay Matete and Danny Mayer who've been withdrawn by Stephen Schumacher at the start of the second half. So Sam Cosgrove and Matt Butcher are on to replace. We'll see what that does to the shape of Plymouth. Bolton, no changes, as you would probably expect, being 2-0 up and tails firmly up at half-time. And Plymouth get us back underway at the start of the second half, wearing their change strip, their third kit of the grey and mint green graded shirts, shorts and socks, and they are attacking the west and to our right, where the Plymouth fans have had very little to shout about. Bolton in their traditional white shirts and socks and the dark blue shorts will be heading for the east stand to our left. And the lineups for Bolton: Trafford the keeper, Jones, Santos and Toll in a back three, Bradley, Sheehan, Dempsey and John across midfield, Morley, Kachunga and Charles up front. And now for Plymouth, Burton the keeper, Wilson, Scar, Gillespie at the back, Edwards, Houghton, Wright, Mumba, Butcher in midfield, Cosgrove and Hardy up front. Give it a couple of minutes to settle down and see what David Condon thinks about the shape that Plymouth have in front of their back three. They've just conceded a free kick for a challenge on Conor Bradley. It's a chance for Bolton to swing the ball into the Plymouth box early in this second half. Bolton 2, Plymouth 0 with a minute gone after the restart.
Yeah, we'll see. It might just be a front two, playing front two for Plymouth. You know, maybe matching up Bolton shape. I'm sure Ian Evatt would have really enjoyed that team talk. You know, not too often you're at Wembley 2-0 up at half-time. As I said, he'll probably expect a response. There's Bradley again getting tugged out. What a first half he had, that young man.
Just having a chat with somebody in the press room at half-time, saying he'll be playing in front of Trent Alexander-Arnold for Liverpool next year.
Well, I'll tell you what, even sensational.
He's not taking the free kick, but he'll receive it down the right-hand side of the box. Chops inside Mumba, tries to set a left-footed shot goalwards. And he pushed into Joe Edwards.
Do you know what?
As the ball ricocheted away. Free kick.
It's a decent point you make about that, because you know the list of players who full international played in this Papa John's Trophy, right? Declan Rice and Mason Mount, and the Southampton team I had, you know, future England internationals in that. Adam Lallana, you know, Ricky Lambert, and you know, Jose Font, you know, top players. And this is an opportunity here, right? As you say, he might be Liverpool's first choice.
Ball's with James Wilson for Plymouth. The ball rolls downfield. It won't break for Ryan Hardy though. Ricardo Santos drives with great strength over halfway from the back for Bolton. Looks to release it down the left-hand side. And it's kept in play by Declan John on this near touchline. Now Kachunga. There's the ball back to the halfway line where Josh Sheehan kicks it alive for Bolton. Gethin Jones, once a Plymouth player when he was on loan from Everton some years ago. Part of the Bolton back three here. Back it goes to James Trafford. Very casual pass out to his captain Ricardo Santos. Midway point of his own half. Has to give it back to Trafford. And that's a more hurried clearance from the youngster under pressure from Ryan Hardy. And that's a throw. And that's kept in play out on that far side.
Well, that gives a little bit of encouragement there to the Plymouth fans.
Oh, given away though. Here's Kachunga bursting through the middle to make it 3. Elias Kachunga may have won it for Bolton early in the second half. A mistake at the back from Plymouth. A ball that ricocheted infield, and Elias Kachunga onto it in a flash. Waited for Callum Burton to commit himself, and then a left-footed finish into the bottom corner in front of those jubilant Bolton fans in the East Stand. Is there any way back for Plymouth Argyle? They've been 3-0 down in Football League Trophy matches before this season and recovered, but this is the final. Bolton 3, Plymouth 0.
Well, again, this starts with Plymouth in possession. They got a throw. Comes back to Gillespie. It's a dreadful pass back to his teammate. He then tries to clear it. Instead, knocks it straight into the path of Kachunga. He's got so much time time and space. He's running away on the diagonal, away from Dan Scarr. He's got all the time in the world just to pick his spot in that bottom left-hand corner. Lovely little finish, low finish across the goalkeeper into that bottom corner. 3-0, and I think it's virtually impossible now for Plymouth to come back.
Well, goals in the Football League Trophy are Elias Kachunga's speciality. He's got 3 now, hasn't scored any in League One this season for the Trotters. But with 4 minutes gone in the second half, Plymouth's task, which was pretty seismic at half-time, has got worse. 3-0 Bolton Wanderers. Well, they were architects of their own downfall in that instance.
They are. Argyle. That has been the story of this final. You know, they had the ball, they had clear possession on a throw. You're in charge. You can dictate where you want it on a throw. It's your throw in around the halfway line, and comedy of errors.
Cosgrove lays it off to Butcher, the 2 substitutes in tandem for Plymouth. Now, the ball's played up to Callum Wright. He's dispossessed. Here come Bolton again. Dion Charles running through the centre circle. Taken out by Dan Scarr, who's going to get a yellow card for that challenge. And another Plymouth player goes into the book. This time the returning Dan Scarr. And Bolton will have a free kick just ahead of the centre circle. And a very easy yellow card for referee Ben Toner to decide upon. 3-0.
Clever, isn't it, though, from Charles? He knows that the tackle's coming, just rides it. Wins a free kick, but again on the turnover, you know, Plymouth wide, expansive, lose the ball, and there's a lot of space for Bolton to counter into.
So a free kick for Bolton ahead of the centre circle. And Josh Sheehan is going to leave it for his captain, Ricardo Santos. Passes it up to the edge of the area, controlled by Charles. But he can't get past Wilson, and it goes out of play for a Bolton throw on this near side. Stephen Schumacher in conversation with his technical staff. I don't know whether that means more changes are on the way for Argyle. Meantime, Elias Kachunga has just scored that 3rd goal, goes down at the press of Jordan Houghton, and that's a free kick again to Bolton Wanderers, close to the left-hand corner of the penalty area.
Well, I'm really pleased for Elias Kachunga because he's had an excellent game. That first 45 I thought he was really, really good, and he's got his chance. He was pretty selfless in the first 45, but a bit selfish for his goal. And it's always difficult as a centre-half when you're chasing a forward who's running away from you on the diagonal, especially with Kachunga's pace. Great composure then to slot it with his left foot across goal, and 3rd goal is a really important one to start this second half.
3 Bolton players around the ball on the left-hand side of midfield. Kachunga now walks away. Morley looks favourite to strike it. There is another change coming for Plymouth. Finazaz on loan from Aston Villa is going to be coming on. Morley takes the free kick, headed away by Plymouth. Hardy heads it infield. It's volleyed downfield by Callum Wright, but there's nobody down there for Plymouth. Tidied up by Declan John, who gets it back to his keeper Trafford. 3-0 to Bolton. Ball played short to Josh Sheehan, with his back to the halfway line. Fire downfield, asking Dempsey to give chase, and it goes out of play. Comes off the back of the assistant on that far side, and Finazaz is ready to come on for a very swift 3rd change for Argyle, who find themselves 3-0 down here on Talksport 2.
Well, I would say if this was 5-0, you'd say that, you know, Bolton have been really clinical and efficient with their finishing, but because of the fact it's only 3.
Dion Charles has been played through, onside, out comes the keeper. Makes a great interception, Callum Burton, outside his area, because Charles again had spun away from challenges, looked to be onside. That was marginal, but flag stayed down, David Connolly.
Yeah, and that 3rd goal, you know, you've got to say what they have done. They have punished Plymouth when they've had possession. They've ratted around them, been really aggressive, forced a turnover. Got their 3 goals, yes, could have been more, but you've got to say they've been excellent.
Well, Callum Wright is the man coming off so that Finazaz can come on for Plymouth. The man on loan from Aston Villa, 7 goals and 8 assists in the league. Was part of the League 2 team of the season because of his excellent performances at Newport County last year, and of course he helped Cheltenham Get their first ever season at League One level the season before by being part of Michael Duff's side that won promotion. And a lot to ask of him here to help turn this around. Plymouth are 3-0 down with nearly 10 minutes gone in the second half of this Papa John's Trophy Final. Here's James Wilson for the Pilgrims. It's a long ball asking Ryan Hardy to give chase. Owen Toyle is watching it, but it's actually well kept in play by Ryan Hardy, and he's won a throw down by the corner flag, right hand side for Plymouth.
Yeah, good hustling from Hardy. He hasn't had a lot, he's fed on scraps really. Had that chance in the first half, that's about it.
Mumba takes the throw. Plymouth player goes down wanting a free kick, nothing doing, says the referee, but the West Country side win it back. Now there's a free kick been awarded, or is it just the referee's a stop play? Arm in the face of Aaron Morley, I think, just checking it's not too serious, a head injury. Back on his feet. And we'll be back underway shortly here on Talksport 2, but Bolton, who won this trophy back in 1989 when they beat Torquay United by 4 goals to 1, and as I mentioned earlier, Julian Darby, who's part of the Bolton coaching staff nowadays, scored the opener in that 4-1 win. Plymouth restart, trying to get Butcher away down the left-hand side of the area, but once again Connor Bradley's there. Now Finn Azaz trying to get involved for the first time as he won a corner. He has. So a chance for Plymouth fans to raise their voice away to our right. It's only a corner kick, but it's something maybe for Plymouth to try and build on. Bolton lead 3-0.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe it is. I mean, we saw Plymouth fans trying to get behind him whenever there's a misplaced goalkeeper clearance or they won a corner here. They are kicking into their fans, so maybe they can suck the ball in the back of the net.
Here's the corner underneath the crossbar and flicked wide. It was Matt Butcher who was up there. And I think Scar was up there too. But the final touch went well wide off Butcher, and it will be a goal kick to Bolton Wanderers. On Talksport 2, the Papa John's Trophy Final is going Bolton Wanderers' way. 3-0 they lead.
Well, the camera just pans to Stephen Schumacher because I think he's played all the cards that he can at the minute. Not too sure as much else he can do. He needs a goal. He needs something.
Ball's played up to halfway. Plymouth win it back though. Their chance to break down their right-hand side. Cosgrove wins it back via a ricochet. It's into the area. Ryan Hardy sets up Cosgrove again. Does he know? Dempsey got back with a vital interception around the penalty spot. But here come Plymouth again. Gillespie up to Cosgrove, lays it off to Azaz, inside left channel, works it out to the left wing. Now Cosgrove again holds the ball up, finds Jordan Houghton. Wilson making a run down the inside right channel, but Houghton's gone back out to the left, and Macaulay Gillespie. Early cross into the box, half volley cleared by Ricardo Santos. Gillespie again nudges his hand as he tries to win a header, and a free kick awarded to Bolton Wanderers. Bolton 3, Plymouth 0 on Talksport 2. We played 12 minutes in the second half. David Connolly.
Yeah, they just got to stop giving away these fouls as well, Plymouth, because as we saw in the first half when they were 2-0 up Bolton, they will take their time, understandably, and Trafford again just take their time to swap the ball, and they'll set things up, they'll pretend to play out probably Bolton before going wrong.
Santos, the man standing over the free kick, just ahead of his own 18-yard line. He will strike it long downfield. Looking for the flick on from Bradley. Dion Charles onto it in a flash. Inside the area, right side. Chops away from the defender. Put behind for a corner kick. Good strong challenge, James Wilson. There were claims for a penalty kick. Not given by the referee, but Bolton have a corner and they lead 3-0.
Yeah, he's so confident, Charles, at the minute. Twisting, turning. Wilson did well in the end just to get a little foot in.
Well, Aaron Morley taking his time to go over to the far side, takes the acclaim of those Wanderers fans. There's a Morley going to have your shirt banner being held up as he gets over there. We've just got more pressing things to worry about right now. Right-footed out swinger to come from Morley, drills it into around the penalty spot. Volley towards goal by Gethin Jones. It's flicked out back towards Morley on that right-hand side. Fakes the cross, now tries to lob it to the far post, but couldn't wrap his foot round it enough. and Plymouth have a goal kick. Bolton 3, Plymouth 0 as we approach the hour on Talksport 2 in the Papa John's Trophy Final.
Well, it is another free player at the back post we saw for Bolton in the first half, obviously with Dempsey's goal. This time it's Jones. Could have actually taken a touch there rather than go with the first time finish.
Stephen Schumacher has a face like thunder looking on our monitors down beneath us as he stands at the edge of his technical area.
Well, a stat just popped up being on the telly that they've scored something like 49 goals in the second half of games. Well, they're going to need, I think, 3 or 4 to even get close to winning this game.
I mentioned again that hat-trick that Sam Cosgrove got coming on against AFC Wimbledon in the knockout stages to force a penalty shootout. Lightning's got to strike twice for the man on loan from Birmingham City, or anybody in a grey and mint green shirt, to try and reduce these arrears, because here come Bolton again down the right hand side. Conor Bradley making a nuisance of himself once again, forcing Gillespie to clear, but it's a tired clearance picked up by Josh Sheehan. Morley just to his left, 30 yards out, rolls it down the left hand side of the area for Declan John. Now Morley has it back, faced up by Jordan Houghton, plays the ball to the edge of the area. Kachunga lays it off for Charles, quick feet from Dion Charles, can he get the shot away? It's blocked by Wilson, behind for another Bolton Wanderers corner away to our left hand side. 3-0 to the Trotters.
Yeah, twisting, turning, Dion Charles in the box, looking to just get about half a yard to get a shot off. He does eventually, but it's blocked out. He's looked so bright, Dion Charles, he really has.
Really enjoying his football these days, Dion Charles. Got a couple for Northern Ireland recently against San Marino, so he's really enjoying all aspects of football just now. Santos has gone down as the corner kick was taken, or Kachunga, I beg your pardon, went down just before the ball was struck by Morley from that right hand side. So the referee just saying no more of that please, and the corner kick will have to be retaken. Sam Cosgrove, who's closest to Kachunga, there's a bit of manhandling going on around the 6-yard line. In it comes from Morley, heading into his, it's 4-0. Gethin Jones against the club he played for in his youth. Bolton have surely set the seal on the Papa John's Trophy, and it's Gethin Jones with a smart header from Morley's corner. Plymouth are done for. It's Bolton's trophy. It's Bolton's victory. It's Bolton's day. Bolton Wanderers 4, Plymouth Argyle 0.
Well, certainly Wanderers are going to win at Wembley, that is for sure. They got their fourth goal. They could have easily had this in the first half anyway. They thoroughly deserved this. Good ball in the box from the corner. You would say it's a wrestle, and it's a wrestle that Bolton come out on top. Terrific header from Jones. 6 yards out, plants it into the far corner again. That looks unguarded for Plymouth. And it's a mountain. It's insurmountable. They're not going to come back from this. I mean, just look at it. It's just a pure wrestle. And it's who wants it more. It looked like Ryan Hardy was marking Jones. Jones got the better of him. Just out-muscled him. Made sure he got there first. Angled it into that far corner. That unguarded part of the goal. 4-0 Bolton. Absolutely brilliant from them.
Scored a couple of goals in League One this season. Gethin Jones arrived a couple of years ago from Carlisle United, but he did have 7 appearances I think it was for Plymouth when he was on loan back in 2015 from Everton. And Plymouth have it all to do. They had it all to do at 2-0 down at half time. Now they're 4 down. Ryan Hardy plays the ball to the edge of the area, but Plymouth get it clear. Dion Charles plays it down the right hand side, and Conor Bradley's away once again in a race, and he's barged over his man. It's a free kick. It's going to be given to Plymouth, and Conor Bradley for once not the quickest man out there. Pushed over James Wilson, I think it was. Meantime, a free kick's been given, and what on earth does Stephen Schumacher do now? Ian Evitt can almost relax at this point. David Conley, you would say?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure they've expected a response from Plymouth in this second half, but it just hasn't happened. Obviously, that goal a few minutes after half-time, that third one, has put the seal on this game, that fourth one.
Wilson with a cross into the Bolton box. It's cleared away by Ricardo Santos. Kept alive by Jordan Houghton. Now Ballymumba in the right wing position. Drills the ball along the deck into the near post. Breaks for the Plymouth rear guard. They try and get it back in the box again. Joe Edwards was in there, but Mumba slides it down the right hand side of the box, looking for a teammate, but it just trickles over the dead ball line. More cheers from the Bolton fans to our left. They're getting ready to party. 4-0 up.
Yeah, I think it's going to be another change as well. I think Brendan Galloway's going to come on for Plymouth. I mean, certainly Bolton have thoroughly deserved this. They've been absolutely superb. Been ruthless, punished Plymouth for all their mistakes. Ponderous in possession, you would say, Plymouth.
Well, it's Macaulay Gillespie that is being withdrawn to allow Brendan Galloway to come on. Went to Everton some years ago. A couple of years at Luton Town. Been sent off this season at Portsmouth as a substitute. Brendan Galloway, he's on as a substitute now, trying to rescue and help rescue a 4-0 deficit. Ball bounces through to Callum Burton, the Plymouth goalkeeper. Well, he's played pretty much every card from his deck, Stephen Schumacher. Meantime, the white flags with the Bolton crest are waving furiously and joyously to our left-hand side.
Well, talking about white flags, I think certainly Stephen will want his players not to wave the white flag. They've got to keep going here. There's a lot of Plymouth fans that have made an awful long journey here. They've got to keep going. You know, they have to show a bit of character. Obviously, this is humiliating in some respects. Make no mistake, you come to Wembley, massive game. 4-0 down, could have been 5 or 6. They've got to show a bit of character here and just try and get something, try and make a goal back, get something out of this game to save a little bit of face.
Meantime, they have a goal kick. Bolton Wanderers to our right hand side, taken short to Ricardo Santos, and he plays it along the deck to Aaron Morley, into his own penalty area, being closed down by Houghton. Gives the ball back to Ricardo Santos. Now Kachunga, neat chest down to allow Dempsey to scamper forward over the halfway line. Declan John making an underlapping run that allows Dempsey to continue his run outside to the left. Now it's back with Aaron Morley. Takes the game back down to walking pace and works the ball back to Ricardo Santos, his captain in the centre circle. Now they're going to cheer every completed pass, the Bolton fans. Kachunga finds Sheehan. Now Morley. And this is rubbing salt into the wound for Plymouth fans. Morley inside his own half, plays the ball into the centre circle, plenty of space for Kachunga to turn and look for an opponent to beat. Dempsey gives the ball back to Toll, and they're toying with Plymouth Argyle at this point. Dempsey inside his own half, gives the ball back to his captain. Santos clips the ball out to this near side, looking for Morley, but Ballymumba got his head on it first and breaks up that period of possession for Plymouth Argyle.
Well, Stephen Schumacher just telling his back line, just to squeeze up the pitch, be a bit more aggressive. I mean, what we've got to lose now, it's 5 or 6, I don't think it's going to make much difference. He's got to try and get back in the game, be more aggressive.
Laid off for Finnazaz to come forward for Plymouth Argyle. Hardy, right hand side of the box, drives it into the side netting. And it's a goal kick, and that's really as close as Plymouth have come with a shot into the side netting since the very early stages of the game.
Well, he hasn't moved since he's hit that ball. I mean, he's just stood still looking at the ground. Ryan Hardy, I think it's a strike out of pure frustration, lack conviction, and probably knows the game is up. Had the opportunity in the first half. That got in at 2-0, you never know, right? It might have been a different game, but it didn't. Goal
kick sent downfield by James Trafford.
He actually went to the feet of his manager.
He did.
He made sure he kicked it away.
Bolton 4, Plymouth 0 on Talksport 2 in the Papa John's Trophy Final. And we've got just over 20 minutes to go. Bolton closing in on another Wembley victory and another day of disappointment at the National Stadium for Argyle. It's their third visit here and their first ever in a cup final. Leon Charles is offside as Kachunga thought he'd slipped him through. Charles still tried to beat the keeper, knowing that the whistle had gone.
Right, if I was him, I wouldn't worry too much. I think there's going to be another couple of chances before the end of the game, that's for sure. I'm sure he'll get his 20th for Plymouth this season. He just went a little bit early. He's a yard offside. I mean, the ball was played through on the halfway line. He's a yard over that, or 2 yards over the halfway.
Free kick for Plymouth, sent downfield. Cosgrove tries to flick it on. It breaks for Mumba. Lays it off for Wilson on the right hand side. Infield it goes to Jordan Houghton. Butcher with a touch, but then Joe Edwards is dispossessed and away comes Connor Bradley, but you can't find a teammate, and Brendan Galloway strides away down the left hand side for Plymouth. Has it again towards the byline, plays it into the box. Finn Azaz trying to make some room for a shot, angles tight, trying to chop onto his left and then his right, breaks at the edge of the area, fired in by Butcher and deflected behind off a Bolton thigh for a Plymouth corner away to our right. 4-0 Bolton.
Yeah, that's a bit better. I mean, Azaz twisting, turning, trying to get a shot off. It gets blocked in the end, comes back to Butcher. His strike is also deflected over. What can they get from this? Let's see.
Right-footed in-swinger to come for Plymouth Argyle in that west stand. In it comes to the near post, flicked out to the edge of the area as Bolton defend it well. Comes out to this near side, the Plymouth right, and it's sent back by Azaz to halfway. Joe Edwards the last man. Diagonal ball up to the edge of the area, over the head of Dan Scar, who'd stayed forward. Good strong header from James Wilson to deny Kachunga. Now Ryan Hardy down the right hand side of the box, tries to square it across looking for Cosgrove, but there were enough white shirts back to get possession back for Bolton, but this time Wilson's in strongly to keep the ball away from Charles. Ballymumba down the Plymouth right, tries to play a 1-2 across the face of goal and kept away from Cosgrove by Connor Bradley with a vital touch. Or was it Kyle Dempsey, forgive me, who got the vital touch to keep it away, and it ends up being a throw on the far side to Plymouth. And more changes coming up, and Mikael Miller is going to be Plymouth's final change, and Ballymumba, who's had an afternoon to forget in some respects, David Connolly is the man that's coming off.
Yeah, look, I'm a big fan of his, because whenever we've watched him, you know, he's been really, really impressive, but today wasn't his day. And I'm surprised he's lasted that long, to be honest.
So Miller onto him, and Bolton are making this opportunity to make two changes. And Leon Charles, who scored the second of the 4 goals, is getting a rapturous reception as he comes off. And Cameron Jerome, 36 years young, yet to score as a Bolton player, nearly 700 club appearances throughout his career. He's coming on, and the other change sees Kieran Lee coming on for Kyle Dempsey, the man that opened the scoring for Bolton.
Well, I think this is there's a touch of romance about this for me, but because I'm sure if Leon Charles had stayed on, he would have got his second goal, and he was superb today, make no mistake. Although he was absolutely electric. Ball comes into his feet today, he was sharp, he was bright, twisting, turning, he was such a thorn in Plymouth side, got his goal. Dempsey as well was superb. But I think getting Cameron Jerome on, I mean, I played this, I came on, I was about 35, 36, you know, and it's just a chance. Your manager knows he's kind of putting you on there because you're an experienced pro, you might have seen it, done it, but you're going to get a chance to play at Wembley.
Cameron Jerome immediately releases Elias Kachunga, trying to get inside James Wilson. Good challenge from Wilson. Kachunga stayed down as he tried to get inside of James Wilson and attack the penalty area. Stay down, Kachunga. There was no free kick awarded by the referee, and now the physios are being asked to come on and treat the former Sheffield Wednesday man. We've got just over a quarter of an hour to go. And they'll be sticking the dark blue and white ribbons on the trophy already, I imagine, ready for Bolton to lift it in the next 20 minutes or so, because Plymouth have 4 goals to find in just over a quarter of an hour here live on Talksport 2.
Yeah.
Sorry, David.
No, I was just going to say, I just think it's a sign of good management there from Ian Evatt. You know, because he keeps his players happy, keeps Cameron Jerome happy. You know, he's a decent part member of the squad, but he's aging, pushing on, but nonetheless you want to play at Wembley, right? And 4-0 up, you give an opportunity to come on and get some minutes, and good management from Ian Evatt. I've been in that position as an older senior player, and you know, might not be first choice because you're moving on in years, you're maybe not quite as mobile or whatever, but opportunity presents itself, you let those players get on the pitch so they can start to play at Wembley. Good management from Evatt.
Bolton 4, Plymouth 0. More live football tomorrow night. Join Adrian Durham at 6 p.m. on Talksport. Monday night game night. Everton Spurs is our exclusive commentary from the Premier League tomorrow evening. And Sam Matterface and Danny Murphy will be alongside Adrian at Goodison Park. Now here's Kachunga back on his feet and back on the pitch. Flicked through by Kieran Lee. Jerome puts it across. Kachunga looking to make it 5. Oh, he's drilled it just wide of the post. Suddenly another lightning quick break. Kieran Lee and Cameron Jerome, the 2 substitutes involved early, but Kachunga screwed his shot a good 2 or 3 yards wide of the post. Goal kick, 4-0 Bolton.
I was unlucky. It's a really good move between Lee, Kachunga and Jerome, the 2 subs linking up well. Kachunga, lovely little deception to shoot to buy half a yard and just delayed his shot a little bit too long. It's unlucky.
Long ball downfield, and Ricardo Santos was being nudged in the back by Ryan Hardy. And Plymouth will just look to get back to their desire to finish in the automatic spots in League One. Bolton are 5th at the moment, but Plymouth of course 2nd. They were top until Sheffield Wednesday got a point against Lincoln yesterday, but Plymouth do still have a game in hand. They'll be at Morecambe on Good Friday before welcoming Lincoln to home park on Easter Monday. Then a Southwest derby down at St James's Park against Exeter. They don't have any of the sides around them to play Plymouth before the end of the campaign. Stephen Schumacher will want them to get their concentration back on promotion very swiftly after this. But there's still 13 minutes of normal time to play here. Declan John, lovely ball in for Bolton, looking for Kachunga, and it came off the chest of the defender and went behind. Goodness me, that was so close. Mikael Miller was at the far post, but Kachunga stuck out a right leg 5 yards out and almost connected with a lovely cross from Declan John. Corner Bolton, 4-0.
You're right, it was a lovely cross, wasn't it? First time into a really dangerous area, that corridor of uncertainty between the goalkeeper and the 6-yard box. Kachunga really close to getting on the end of it.
Aaron Morley again going across to spot the corner down in front of the Bolton fans in that east stand. What Bolton players now break away from the edge of the area as Morley swings it in, drops at the far post beyond everybody. Picked up by Declan John, left hand corner of the area. Plays a 1-2 with Kachunga, now gives it back to Kachunga again. John trying to thread it through the legs of a couple of Plymouth defenders for Kachunga. Anywhere will do from James Wilson up to the halfway line, but Bolton with the header back, flicked on by Sheehan. Almost got Kachunga in again, and then Jerome with a strong header. It was straight through to Callum Burton. 4-0 to Bolton Wanderers, and we've got 12 minutes of normal time to go on Talksport 2 in the Trofie Final. Down the left hand side, Brendan Galloway for the Pilgrims. Long ball downfield, looking for Ryan Hardy, but it bounces away from him. It's the long ball just hasn't worked for Plymouth this afternoon, David Connolly.
No, it hasn't. I mean, they've tried to release Hardy in behind for the first couple of minutes today, but it just hasn't quite worked for them. That Bolton defence has been pretty close together, that back three, difficult to break through. Distance is nice and tight and close.
Good run, Mikael Miller into the area for Plymouth. He's held up for a moment. Galloway teases the cross in from the right-hand side, cleared out to the edge of the area. Volley goals by Joe Edwards. In fact, it's a bit 2 yards wide, particularly with his weaker left foot. It didn't really connect the way he would have wanted, so it's a Bolton goal kick away to our right. 4-0, the Trotters still lead, and there's 1 or 2 empty seats now emerging that we can see to our right, where the Plymouth fans, some of whom have decided, no, enough is enough.
Yeah, well, they do have a long journey. Well, any journey from Plymouth is long, isn't it? The distances they've got to travel. I mean, Edwards there, I know he has been out as a skipper, but he'll be really bit disappointed as a captain. This performance, make no mistake.
Now, ball's with Bolton Wanderers on halfway. Rolled back by Gethin Jones, who scored the fourth, back to his keeper. Another couple of changes. MJ Williams, who's just back from injury, is going to be on for Bolton shortly, and so too George Thomason. And those substitutions will be made when the ball's next out of play. But as you can probably tell from the Olays, Bolton are passing the ball around between themselves. It's Ricardo Santos. Hits it back from Gethin Jones down the right back position. Hits a long ball downfield looking for Connor Bradley, but the header's won by Plymouth. But then Kachunga almost flicked it to the path of Kieran Lee, who was making a strong run from midfield.
It just looks a bit leggy, Kachunga, and I think he gave a little signal. Maybe he's felt something, or it's time for him to come off. We'll have to wait and see. A couple of changes here for Bolton.
Yeah. So here come the 2 changes for Bolton. MJ Williams and George Thomason coming up, and Josh Sheehan is the first player to be withdrawn. He got that nasty challenge on the ankle just before half-time. Hasn't really shown any ill effects of that challenge, but he's being withdrawn. And the other player coming off is Aaron Morley to allow MJ Williams to come on. So Williams and Thomason on, Morley and Sheehan off, and they both put in an excellent shift on Ian Eggert this afternoon.
Yeah. Played really, really well, those two, Morley and Sheehan. Again, the small players get on Wembley pitch, get to experience it, enjoy it.
George Thomason, released at the age of 16 by Blackpool, came to Bolton in 2020, Young Player of the Year in his first full season, and he's on in central midfield. And MJ Williams, as I mentioned, got injured in January, another former Blackpool player, nearing 100 appearances at Bolton now, and they have just over 8 minutes of normal time to enjoy, plus whatever the referee wants to add on. And the attendance is just being shown on the screen. 79,389. That's only a couple of thousand short of the record that Portsmouth and Sunderland set here for a Football League Trophy Final, 4 years ago now. That is a magnificent effort from all concerned. 79,389. The biggest football attendance anywhere in Europe this weekend. Bigger than Manchester City, Liverpool. Bigger than Bayern Munich against Borussia Dortmund. Great effort. But a lot of that 79,000, certainly of a Devonian persuasion, have decided to head back to the car parks. But nobody away to our left is leaving their seat. Bolton Wanderers fans just waiting to acclaim their heroes properly at the final whistle. 4-0 up and cruising. Jerome. It's time to nutmeg Joe Edwards.
He's enjoying himself out there, Cameron. I'd say he's looked really, really good since he's come on. Still offered a threat at the top part of the pitch. He's held the ball up well.
Late challenge by Sam Cosgrove. A little bit naughty from Cosgrove. The frustration's starting to boil over, and a yellow card rightly issued by the referee for the Plymouth striker. Not a particularly clever challenge in the circumstances, but that's how frustrated They are. Toll was just releasing the ball. Oh, it's a nasty challenge on the ankle. I'll tell you what, Sam Cosgrove is lucky that VAR is not in operation here.
Goodness me, if he can get up and play on from this, it'll be a very fortunate man, because that was a dreadful challenge from Cosgrove. Looking at it second hand on the replay, stands on his ankle, it's above the ankle, it's dreadful.
George Johnston is ready to come on for Bolton.
That would be, with VAR, that would probably be a red, wouldn't it?
That's what I was thinking, that the referee would be asked to either go to the review screen and upgrade it, or they might just tell him in his ear, upgrade it. Toll stayed down, he's sitting up though as he continues to receive treatment. I'm assuming that George Johnston was going to come on for one of the defenders anyway, so maybe with this injury to Toll, this might be the opportunity for Johnston to come on for him. He's only just back in training, Johnston, after getting injured in January.
Well, I'm sure Ian Evatt, just been told that he's absolutely raging down there, as you'd expect. Talking to the fourth official, talking to the Plymouth staff. Well, one thing you don't want to do, such a comfortable afternoon, a great day, have it spoiled by a bad injury to one of your first choice players, and that's what it looks like.
Even though he's sitting up, Owen Toyle is being put on a stretcher. The St John's ambulance have come onto the pitch on this near side, and he's just going to be carefully lifted, it would appear, onto the orange stretcher that's been brought onto the field. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, but the replay that we saw the ankle bent back by the strength of Cosgrove's challenge after the ball had gone.
Yeah. Dreadful challenge, absolutely dreadful. Would be certain red on second viewing in my mind anyway, and he's bravely declined the stretcher, and it looks like he's just going to hobble off.
Well, he doesn't need the stretcher, thankfully, but he is, as David Connolly rightly says, not moving freely at all. And he goes off, and George Johnston is on in his place.
Kind of coward's challenge that from Cosgrove, to be honest. Coward's challenge. Ball is gone, he knows exactly what he's doing, he's left one on Toll there. Frustrated, yeah, but it's a coward's tackle, really is.
So Johnston has 4 minutes of normal time to play out as another change for Bolton, who lead 4-0. And the free kick is sent downfield, and Cosgrove now tries to go in on Johnston, and he's been told to calm down by the referee.
I tell you what, send him off, that'll calm him down.
Well, Cosgrove has got the red mist in front of him, there's no doubt.
Well, Ian Evatt just giving him an earful, and Cosgrove has a little word back as well.
Well, Cosgrove on loan from Birmingham. He once cost Birmingham £2 million from Aberdeen, but he's not shown at a higher level that he's a goal scorer. He's been important for Plymouth at times this season, notably in this competition, but he's got to calm himself down here. Santos with a rare poor touch, but then gets back at Ryan Hardy and wins the ball back, and MJ Williams getting stuck in as well. Williams knocks it back into the midfield third. Lovely touch from Thomason up to halfway. Kachunga lays it off, and Connor Bradley looks to release Kachunga through the middle. Also Cameron Jerome in there, but touched back by Scar to his keeper, and Callum Burton clears right-footed. Cosgrove giving chase, but Johnston will let the ball go out of play for a throw-in. More Premier League action to come Tuesday and Wednesday across Talksport, Talksport 2 and the app on Tuesday night in particular. Make sure you've got the Talksport app downloaded for your smartphone, and you can take us wherever you go. And as well as Talksport and Talksport 2, there are app-only commentaries exclusive from the Premier League on Tuesday night. Bolton-Brighton, or rather Bournemouth-Brighton, Bolton, they'll be in the Premier League soon enough. Bournemouth-Brighton and Leicester against Aston Villa. Those are exclusive to the app on Tuesday night. Whilst on Talksport, Chelsea-Liverpool, 8 o'clock kick-off in RB Ellen Road for Leeds against Forest, which is a 7:45 kick-off on Talksport 2 on Tuesday night. No goals yet between Newcastle United and Manchester United. That was a 4:30 kick-off, so they're about 20 minutes in at St James's Park. West Ham beat Southampton earlier today to get out of the bottom three, but it's still very tight down there. Bolton, meantime, in the last minute of normal time that we're into now, in possession, just inside their own half. Conor Bradley making a burst down the right-hand side, but he's not being utilised. Instead, Cameron Jerome tries to shield the ball and find a teammate. Plymouth win it back. Down goes Cosgrove, and it's picked up by Mikael Miller. Cosgrove again flicks it down the left-hand side of the box. It's played across the face of goal. Bolton will want to keep a clean sheet at this point, will not want to concede even a consolation goal to Plymouth at this point.
Well, they're just so hard to breach, aren't they, that defence? And once they got the second goal 2-0 up, you think, well, the side that's only conceded 31 goals this season, it's going to be hard to break down.
Out comes Callum Wilson to the edge of his area just to close down the space. It looked just fleetingly.
I think the first half, Bradley might have got there.
Yeah.
Rather than last few minutes. I mean,
he's covered more ground than anybody else out there, you'd argue.
Oh, what a shift he's putting down that right-hand side. If you're a Liverpool fan, you'll be really excited about his prospects, that's for sure.
I think that's 4 minutes of additional time that we've got, which we're into now on Talksport 2. Bolton thinking about trophy celebrations, thinking about all the success they've had at Wembley down the years. It's been an awfully long time since they've won a trophy to add to their cabinet, 1989. And here they are within minutes of lifting the Football League trophy, and the Bolton flags are waving once again to our left-hand side. Pulls back with the goalkeeper, with James Trafford. Now it's out to the right-hand side, played in field for Thomason, got to work it back for his keeper. Trafford again, looks for George Johnston. Johnston back for Trafford once more. MJ Williams turns it to the right-hand side. I think every Bolton fan has got their flag waving David Connolly to our left-hand side.
Yeah, they do, and that was just a little moment or two of the noise here at Wembley. They're going to enjoy this, Bolton, and so they should, because plenty of times this season Plymouth have played numerous teams off the park, so I guess they're getting a bit of a dose of own medicine, and he won't wave to the fans. I think he declined that. He'll be respectful, as he has done all game, to Stephen Schumacher and Plymouth, but they have been brilliant, Bolton, thoroughly deserved this.
The Man of the Match award's just been awarded by the sponsors here to Kyle Dempsey, who scored the first and set up the second. Sat on the bench now, just a little rueful grin on his face as he takes the acclaim of his teammates. Meanwhile, Santos heads the ball clear for Bolton up to halfway. Kachunga gets away from Joe Edwards down the near side. It's put back to Declan John. Now Johnston elects to roll the ball back to Trafford. Cosgrove closing down the space, but a very casual pass out to Ricardo Santos. 2 minutes of added time remaining. Cameron Jerome, who was here in 2011 when Birmingham won the League Cup against Arsenal, so he knows this stadium, but he's enjoyed himself out there, as you say, David Connolly, since coming on as a substitute.
He has. He's done very, very well. You know, he's retained it, moved it well. Obviously, it's nice coming on to a confident team. Here they go again, Bolton.
Kachunga rolls it down the left-hand side. Strong run down the left-hand side. It's picked up again, is it? No, it goes out of play. The attempt from George Thomason to work the ball in field from this near touch line. Rebounded off a Plymouth boot, back off him and out again. And Joe Edwards will take a throw for Plymouth. Flicked on halfway by Ryan Hardy. Two Bolton players go for the same ball. Thomason puts the ball into the centre circle. Conor Bradley knocks it down for Gethin Jones. Jones will stride towards halfway and then just play it back into square to his right. Once again for Bradley. Williams. Ricardo Santos. And they're just playing out time here, Bolton. It's worked back to their keeper, Trafford. Santos Santos with a neat turn at the edge of his own penalty area to get a couple of yards away from Ryan Hardy, and then Mikel Miller slides in desperately for Plymouth, and it goes out of play for a Bolton goal kick. They're almost there, the Trotters.
Yeah, and the two managers have a little handshake, which indicates that, and that is it.
There goes the full-time whistle. Bolton Wanderers win the Football League Trophy for the second time in their history, and they have steamrolled at Plymouth Argyle here at the National Stadium. 4-0 the success. They scored 4 back in 1989 when they won this trophy, beating Torquay. They've repeated that this afternoon. They were 2 goals up inside the first 10 minutes. Kyle Dempsey with a header from a corner, and then Dempsey squared the ball across the box for Dion Charles to get his customary Bolton goal. 2-0 at half-time. Plymouth, who've been poor in the first half, made substitutions to try and readjust, but within 4 minutes of the restart, Elias Kachunga had been played through to make it 3-0, and then Gethin Jones, who made appearances for Plymouth in his youth on loan from Everton, scored the 4th just after the hour with a header from a corner, and that effectively was that. Plymouth will lick their wounds and go back to trying to sort out an automatic promotion place, even the title of League One, to get back into the Championship. But it's Bolton's day, it's Ian Ebbitt's day, and the Trotters fans to our left are waving their flags more furiously than before in total delight. They lift the Football League Trophy for the second time in their history. Congratulations to Bolton Wanderers, who beat Plymouth Argyle by 4 goals to 0.